few months ago I, 30F, made a post about my ex-husband, 36 male. Since then we have had little to no communication except through a third party because we have a daughter together. He does absolutely nothing for her. He asked for full custody because he didn't want to pay child support. I finally got him to agree to supervised visits and zero child support. The last 3 months I haven't spoken a word to him and he hasn't seen our daughter. But recently he's been telling me about his hot 18-year-old girlfriend. The reason why he told me is because we agreed to tell each other about our relationship since the person would interact with our daughter. But he's always accidentally sending me nudes of bikini pictures of her, or accidentally sending me messages meant for her. He just wants to make me jealous of her young slim body, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of seeing me sad or jealous. The other day he told me that he wants to have a baby with. He's irresponsible and she's immature, so they would make horrible parents. But he wants me to carry their child. Why? Because her teenage body is so hot and sexy and that I'm old and used. I have no idea why he would even ask me. Why is he telling me about her body? Why does he want me involved in any sort of way? It's all so weird. Any thoughts on this?
My kid has to sell chocolate-covered almonds as a fundraiser at school. I would rather just give them the amount he is going to raise, but that isn't allowed. So I told my wife to just pay for 2 boxes out of my petty cash I keep on my office. I will take the almonds to work and give them out to my guys for free. My wife says that I'm missing the point and that I should take my son out to sell the almonds. I think that is ridiculous. I think I have better ways to spend several hours than to harass my neighbors trying to get them to buy chocolate. I told her she could either go out and sell the chocolate herself or she could take my money. Now she thinks I'm an a-hole because I don't value her free time. She is a stay-at-home mom right now. When our youngest is 2 she will be going back to work. I work 60 hours a week not including the commute. Now she wants me to spend hours out selling chocolate. No, thanks. My free time is valuable too. Am I the a-hole? Been married 4 years and together for 7. Love my wife with all my heart. We started dating back in high school and have been inseparable since. Back when we first started dating she was a Christian. I am an atheist and not super thrilled about religion in general. Well, she ended up falling out of Christianity after a couple years of dating and has gone with the agnostic label since. The last handful of months she said she's been feeling a call to be Muslim. I asked her how and why and she said she saw some videos of a street preacher and it made her look into it and now says it connects to her more than Christianity did. She's the type who goes through a lot of phases though, so I assumed it was just a phase and short-term interest. Well, the other day she came up to me and said she wanted to get a prayer mat and wanted to try wearing a hijab. She asked if I'd want to go with her to pick them up or if I'd be okay with these things. I told her that I'm not comfortable with it and I would probably want to separate if she started too. She got pretty sad I said that and asked why, and I told her I'm not interested in being with someone who is religious, especially not someone who is visibly religious to the point they won't show their hair. She said she understands why I might not like it, but threatening to divorce over it means I don't love her. I do love her, but I'm not willing to become part of the religious community and I just know she will try to convert me. Christianity was okay because she wasn't overtly religious and was already waning in it by the time we started dating. She says she doesn't know what she wants to pursue, but is really upset that I'd leave her if she chose to fully convert to Islam. Am I the a-hole for saying I'll leave her if she converts? I'm away from home a lot of the time due to work commitments, which is tough because I don't have as much time as I would like to spend with my family, and although I try to talk with them as much as possible when I'm away, communication is limited. Recently I found out that my wife has been hiring a sitter occasionally for our son, 7, when I'm away, so that she can go out to dinner with friends. It came as a surprise to me because we usually plan these things together when I'm at home. I appreciate the effort she puts into taking care of our son while I'm gone, but I work long hours during my trips, and learning about the sitter arrangement left me feeling pretty annoyed with her. I asked her why she had never told me before and she said that it just never came up because we only talk in short spurts, and she didn't think it would be an issue because we usually get a sitter for a night when I come home. I told her that it isn't right and she's wasting money selfishly, because she gets breaks at work and after our son goes to bed, and it's wrong to leave him when I have to work 24/7 on business trips. I told her not to do it again, but she got upset because she didn't think it was fair. Am I the a-hole for telling her to not hire a sitter? I 36M, and my wife is 33F. We are expecting our first child soon. My mother, who is 70, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and has been hospitalized since it is so bad doctors say she will not survive since treatments aren't working well on her. My dad passed when I was young, and my mom took care of me while working 2 jobs so that I could have a good life. I feel I owe everything to my mother. I bought her a house and whatever she needed so that she could live her older years well since we had to struggle so much. When I got home from work and visiting my mom, my wife and I were talking, and she asked if you got a call that I was in labor or your mom was going to die, who would you pick? I told her I would pick my mom. She asked why, and I told her that I wanted to be there to say goodbye to my mom since I would never see her again, and so she would have somebody there in her final moments. She got mad and said what about her and our baby? I told her I would try to be there as fast as I could after my mom, but that most likely wouldn't happen, so I told her not to worry about it. She was still mad and told me to get out of the house. I left, and now I'm at my mom's house. So am I the a-hole? Edit. To everyone saying that I would be leaving her in alone. No, I wouldn't. She would have her mom there. Yes, I was right for leaving my house. It was either I leave, or she goes, and I was not about to put my pregnant wife out of our house. Yes, I've been there for her. I have taken off work to comfort and help her in any way she needs during this pregnancy. Edit 2. People say I should put my wife first, but she doesn't put me first at all. She chooses her sisters over me all the time. I have gone home and I am thinking I don't need to apologize at all. Am I the a-hole? About 15 years ago my wife and I got married. Things were great and we had a nice marriage until we had a kid and it all went to crap. He has special needs and my wife had to stay home to care for him, taking her out of the workforce. I've had to work more to make up for it, and each had grown resentful of the other. She's resentful I get to work. I'm resentful that I provide enough for her to stay home and care for our child and it's still just not effing enough for her. Long story short, I met another woman, fell in love, and want to be with her. I brought up my unhappiness with my wife and told her I would like to divorce her and she said fine. But that I had to take full physical custody of the child. I told her that wasn't going to happen. She was his caregiver and I'm going to pay alimony and child support, but he was going to live with her. She is outright refusing to do this, saying she will not be a single mother. I will be paying her. This will not disrupt her life much at all, where if we do things her way it will disrupt my life greatly and I won't be able to work if I have the child, and my girlfriend doesn't know how to care for him. Obviously my wife doesn't give a shit if our son has proper care or not. I basically told her too bad I would be divorcing anyway, but she said she will leave the child with me or my parents and move back across the country without him, that no judge can force her to parent. I told her if she does this I will throw her ass in jail. Can she really do this? If so, would it be abandonment and could I have her taken to jail? I am not cut out for being a full-time caregiver for my son so her selfishness is only hurting everyone else. How can I move on and be happy when she refuses to let me? She's trapping me with this threat. This is such bullcrap. We have been together for 6 years and in love with each other. At least that's how it was for me. She has been acting more distant and became more protective of her phone for the last 2 months. At first, I was not suspicious of anything but the doubt grew more and more inside me as the time passed, especially after asking her if there was a problem since she felt distant. She said there is no problem and that was it. I gave in and snooped on her phone to discover she has been sexting a guy for the last 2 months. I was devastated. At the beginning of our relationship I clearly told her lying and cheating in any form are the two unforgivable actions for me. Yet, she decided to cheat on me after 5 years of relationship and we had been planning the wedding for this summer. I am not proud of that, but I checked the old messages as well but there was no case of cheating other than this. I have been thinking about it for the last few days. I tried to rationalize it and told myself I cannot be leaving a 6 years relationship because of a single mistake but after having a long talk with my oldest sister, I realized that I should respect myself and leave. She was the one who betrayed the relationship, not me. We do not have any shared assets and leases on my fiance's name. I have an inherited house but it's in another city. Tomorrow, I am planning to just get important things from the house, block her from everywhere and just leave. I do not want a closure to be honest. I just want to grieve the relationship. I thought maybe I did not love her given that I want to leave her right away but it's not like that. It hurts a lot. I tend to stress eat, masturbate, doom scroll and spiral into depression in these kinds of situations. I have that experience from my early 20s. By going no contact and returning back to the city where my family lives will give me a circle that can support me. Would I be the a-hole if I straight up left and ghosted her without saying anything? My wife and I have been a couple for 9 years and married for 7 years. We have a son who is currently 6 years old. We both work and take turns doing both household chores and homework with our son. Now, I have the mentality of I am my priority which my parents taught me since I was a child. If there is something that threatens my own peace, I am simply going to leave it and that's it, no matter how much it hurts at first. Now, my sex life with my wife has always been quite active, although it was reduced a little years ago due to the issue of pregnancy and childbirth. That little by little was resolved and we ended up having a good sex life again, at least that it was what I believed. My wife recently told me to talk. She told me that even though she loves me she feels that ours has become a little monotonous. I told her that I had no problems with that, but she told me that what she was meaning was that she wants to try new things but with other people, that I could do it too and that it doesn't have to affect our relationship or our family. I'll be honest, her proposal hurt me a lot. She told me to think about it, that she wasn't going to force me. A couple of days passed in which, at my request, she slept with our son while I stayed in our room, which I cried as much as I could and to think about what to do. I came to the conclusion that I didn't want the open marriage, and that it was going to disturb my peace as much as possible. So I talked to my wife and told her that I wanted a divorce if she wanted her open marriage, and that she could have the child 5 days a week while I can have him on the weekends. She immediately said no, that she doesn't want to end our relationship, that we don't need to end it because that would affect her and our son. I responded, and why should I care? If it affects me, it's the most important thing for me. What she didn't take very well, she accused me of being selfish, manipulative and a bad father. I told her the truth. I told her that if we divorced, yes, our son would have a hard time, but that he would end up getting used to it like every child. What's the problem then? I told her that I've cried enough and that all I want is a little peace, and that her desire to walk around like a drunk teenager having orgies would not give me that peace. Just as she made her intentions clear about wanting an open relationship, I made mine clear about keeping my peace, even if it means separating from them. Am I the a-hole for that?